I'm the Corky fella, and this is the first ever stream I'll be holding on this channel. And we are gonna be talking about life in Ireland. So, as I've said, I've been here for already 2 years now, a little bit less than that, and I am here to share some of my experiences with you. So, one of the first thing I wanted to say is that I'm gonna be talking out from my perspective and my experiences in Ireland. And definitely... Oh, hello there! I'm definitely gonna be going through some points of life in Ireland, such as weather and rain, and also accommodation. What's it like to move to another country? What actually that means? And we are gonna be talking about, well, what an adventure it actually can be. So, we can begin. Hello there, people. I hope you have your coffees and teas, because I do, and we are gonna have a hell of a time now. So, one of the first points I wanted to mention is that life in Ireland isn't all really that easy, and it's not all, well, rainbows and unicorns. But definitely, hello. Definitely I wanted to pinpoint some of the things that made me a bit uncomfortable when I first moved here. So, I am 24 years old. I am pretty young, and I decided to move to Ireland when I was 22. Although I wanted to move to Ireland actually since I was like 13, 14, to be honest. Ireland was always some kind of a magic land for me, somewhere I wanted to be in my life, and I painted this picture in my head how it's gonna go, how it's gonna be. And I have to admit, it definitely is not anything like that, but some of the main points are exactly what I imagined them to be. So first of all, Ireland is a country of opportunities. Is that true? Yes, that's definitely true, and don't let anyone tell you anything different, because Ireland has a lot more opportunities than, well, 90% of the countries in the world don't really have. And here, education is very important, very good to have. It's definitely easier because it's better. The education system is just really good comparing to the rest of the countries in the world. Okay, so I see that some of you have been waiting for me to answer the long question for where I came from. So, about 2 years ago, I moved to Ireland because of the opportunities, to be honest, because of the money also, and I just wanted something more in life. I was really adventurous, and I felt stuck in my own country. I'm originally from Croatia, actually. So in Croatia, I was a sales professional. I was doing alright, but I always felt like there could be something more. Not from Bangladesh, but alright. So yeah, I come from Croatia. Croatia is a beautiful country in Middle Eastern Europe, I'd say. But yeah, it's a great country. It's a great country to travel to. It's a great country to go on a vacation, have some holidays. But to live there, well, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm still saying that Croatia is a great country and you can do a lot of stuff over there. But I just wanted more opportunities, and I think that while I'm young, while I'm so adventurous, I want more experience in life. That's why I moved to Ireland, actually. So there we go. I'm from Croatia. Some stuff are everything is pretty much so different in Croatia and in Ireland. So in comparison, Ireland has a lot more opportunities. for you to grow personally in your career and in every other aspect, actually, to be honest. So, first of all, I you think so? That's really nice. That's really nice. Yes. Um, I would like first of all, I would like to ask all of you to write, like, anyone who wants to write down in the chat, like, where do you come from, just to make me feel a bit less awkward. So yeah, in comparison, Ireland has a lot better education system than Croatia. At least that's what I think. Ireland has a lot more opportunities, and by opportunities, I mean actually there's a lot of more job listings, and you can actually get a job. So the difference between Croatia and Ireland is that in Croatia I can apply to 80 jobs and get maybe one interview, and in Ireland it took me about 7 applications until I got like 4 interviews for a job. So that's a really, really, really big difference. So I actually wanted to say that besides the opportunities in jobs, your career, you can also change your career. Like, Ireland has something that's called an apprenticeship. So you can enroll in an apprenticeship and just change your career path. There are apprenticeships for there are a lot of programs for apprenticeships. So you've got like apprenticeships as an electrician, plumber. You even have apprenticeships for sales. Some of the apprenticeships are for economics. Some kind of some of the bank jobs. So that's pretty great. In Croatia, you can't really just switch up your career like that. It goes a little bit differently. You have to go through a course. There are some European funded courses that you can enroll to. You can maybe work as you do them, but not like the Irish apprenticeship. In Ireland, you enroll in the apprenticeship. The apprenticeship is usually from 2 to 4 years. For the time you are working in that specific job, in that specific profession, you're working for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then you have 1 week of school, and it goes on like that through like 2, 3, 4 years. So you're actually paid for that. You're paid to change your career. That's something that's really awesome in Ireland, and I actually thought about that. I thought about some of the apprenticeships. I wanted to enroll in some of them. Usually the apprenticeships are, well, since they're all apprenticeships, you have to go through a course. You can't just finish a school for that or anything. You have to go through that. And as you're working in that respective profession and you are doing the theory part in a classroom, you're still getting paid. And after that, you can enroll in any kind of a job in that specific profession. And mostly they are very well paid jobs. So the jobs are usually, as an electrician, I said, I think the average electrician in Ireland earns around 38k euros per year, which is actually pretty awesome. The apprenticeship for an electrician lasts for about 4 years, I think. So yeah, that's talking about the opportunities there. And I'm gonna look at the chat for a second here. Also from Croatia, that's great. That's great. We have some Croatians over here. We have some Ukrainians. Okay, more than a few years. Ira, I am very curious. Where were you besides Ireland? Or I'm not sure if you're thinking about moving to Ireland. Where are you right now, if I may know? So you've been abroad for more than a few years now. That's pretty great. You already have a lot of experience as an expat and as a foreigner. So yeah, one of the other things is that I wanted to mention is, well, it's not just moving to Ireland. Wherever you're moving, you're gonna be a foreigner. You're gonna be an expat in that country. So some of the things that are not really specific to Ireland, but are just normal for you to experience as a foreigner, is, well, the changes. Everything changes. So I moved from Croatia. In Ireland, the cars are driving on the other side of the street. Um, People are very, very different over here. Everyone, most of the people in Ireland are very friendly, very outgoing, and that's very different from Croatia, because in Croatia you have to get to know someone to actually, start chatting with them, and people sometimes tend to be a bit more rude, but that's normal. It's not actually rude in Croatia, but over here that would be rude. So in Ireland, people are very outgoing, very friendly. Of course, wherever you go in the world, there's a small chance that the climate and the weather will be the same as it is in your own country, so you have to get used to the weather. For me, to get used to Ireland's weather was really like, well, it was hard in the very beginning. So the weather in Ireland is, as you all know already, there's a lot of rain, there's a lot of clouds, and sometimes there's a storm. And having a storm in Ireland and having a storm back at home is very different. In Ireland, when there's a storm, they called us up from work not to come to work before 9 a.m. and we usually start at 6 or 7. So they called us up not to come to work because there's a storm coming up. And I was like, what kind of a storm is coming up? Like, what do you mean? And when I woke up the next morning, I realized that you literally can't walk in the street because it's such wind, such strong wind. And that's something that really weirded me out in Ireland, because nobody told me about the wind. They told me about the rain, the clouds, but not about the wind. I could barely walk in the street. I had an umbrella. The umbrella was completely wrecked in a 5-minute walk to a store. So the umbrella was demolished by the wind. It wasn't really useful. So that's one of the things that were really like just out of the ordinary and something I had to get used to in Ireland. I'm gonna have a look at the chat for just a second. So how did you get an idea to start videos about Ireland? Well, to be honest, I came to Ireland and I had to learn all about Ireland. I had to learn how to get through. I had to learn how to get a job, how to find accommodation. I had to learn everything on my own. I didn't have actually any friends over here, and I had to learn everything. So as I started learning, I started to see that there are all sorts of different information. Some of them outdated, some of them are just wrong. So I actually decided to create a community of people that are watching me, explain to them everything about Ireland so they don't have to search too much about that information all around Google and all around the internet. So I wanted to start like a primary source, a center source of the information from someone that's been here for more than a year now. So yeah, that's how I started videos about Ireland, because I wanted people to get through everything a little bit easier than I did. So I hope people respect that, and I am really happy to give you all of the information that I have. So next one up is okay, I've been abroad. All right. So I'm in Costa Rica right now. That's amazing. My husband and I are looking forward moving to Ireland exactly for the same reasons of opportunities, but also it's a middle point between our countries. That's amazing. That's amazing. So you'll have less travel between your own countries and Ireland. That's actually amazing. Okay, so also because of the opportunities, I don't really know how it's in Costa Rica, but I hope you find it better here in Ireland. I wish you luck definitely. Hello, mate. Hello, Paul. That's one of my regulars over here on this channel. The umbrella. Yes, the umbrella destroyed. Something else about the storms. There's hardly ever any thunderstorms. It's usually wind and rain. That's true. I once I heard that has something to do with the with the gases in the wind. Well, I'm not sure how to explain that, but I heard there's a difference between Ireland and other countries, and that's why there's not too much of thunderstorms over here. So yeah, it's mostly rain and it's mostly windy. So yeah, be prepared for that. Definitely prepare for that. Get a great umbrella, or even better, get some kind of a special jacket for this weather. That's gonna be useful to you. So, where was I? Yes, the opportunities. One other thing I wanted to mention is the accommodation problem in Ireland. So, as you all probably know, there's been a really big housing crisis here in Ireland, and that's kind of true. Yes, I heard that some people are out on the streets. I heard that some people are homeless for some time now. Yes, I heard that it's really hard to get an accommodation. Yep. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard. We've been looking for accommodation for about a few months before we found one. But also, I wouldn't say that it's not possible. I wouldn't say that it's some kind of a great big disaster or something. You can always find ways to find accommodation. You can always go to an Airbnb. You can always meet people. You can always ask your employers. You can always find a job that provides accommodation. At least you can try. At least you can try. So that's actually how I came to Ireland. First of all, I came from Croatia. I came through an agency. So the agency gave us the jobs. We had the job interviews and everything with the agency and with our managers here. And we got the jobs and we got an accommodation provided for us. So we came to Ireland with that accommodation, and later on we sorted through everything and we found an accommodation for ourselves. So ourselves, I'm speaking of my best friend, my brother, his wife, my girlfriend, and the four of them, and me, myself, found a house later on in Cork, and that's how we actually moved and got our life, started up and running. So yeah, we came through an agency. Yeah, that's one thing to remember. Also, if you're looking for an agency, look for quality ones. Look for ones that have some kind of reviews, good reviews. If you can find anyone that already came through an agency, ask them through which agency they came from. Also, that's a little bit easier if you're in some kind of a Facebook group or something. Just try to find people from your own country, or there are groups for expats and foreigners on Facebook. Just try to get in one of them, and then try to meet people over there, try to post something, try to ask them how did they come to Ireland, how did they started living in Ireland, how did they find an accommodation. There's always someone that can help you out, and that's something I didn't really utilize enough. Right now, I can see that there are lots of people in chat about Ireland. There are Croatian foreigners in Ireland, and I can see that people are actually helping each other out with jobs, accommodations, everything. So really use that, people, and that's really gonna be useful for you. all in all, you can ask other people for experiences. And I'm here to provide my experience, so I hope that helps you. I'm gonna look at the chat for a little second now. Okay. Has anyone been in this chat trying to sell dogs? If so, block them. They are scammers. Dogs are stolen. Okay. Okay. Right. Accommodation in Ireland is terrible. Lots of the locals tend to live in their parents up to until the 30s because accommodation is so limited and so expensive. Is it possible to find accommodation for a family with a dog? He's called Clint Messeray. He stole two king. Okay, DJ Smokey, I have no idea what the hell are you talking about, but I hope you have any. I hope it's a purpose. Okay, so it's some kind of a purpose. All right, so accommodation in Ireland is terrible. Yes, it's very hard. It's very hard, but it's not impossible. Utilize every single thing you can find on the internet, and you'll find an accommodation if you're stubborn enough. I know that Irish people don't think that they should really kill themselves to get an accommodation over here, but for us foreigners, that's kind of normal. You have to struggle, and we did struggle, and you use everything you can to find an accommodation. You can find an accommodation on Deft.ie, Rent.ie websites. I've actually changed my daily habits of scrolling to TikTok and Facebook, Instagram. I changed these habits to scroll down Daft.ie and Rent.ie, to be honest. You can find apartments on a web page called Home Hack. That's really useful. They let you upload all of your documents you need for the accommodation, such as your PPS number, such as your references from previous employers and landlords, and you can also find an accommodation there. Even some of the letting agency can contact you over your homehack.com. So try to look into that. Besides that, you can find an accommodation on rent Facebook groups. So there are some Facebook groups. So they are providing posts about rent accommodation that you can find in Ireland. There's Rent in Cork. So I'm in that group. They are posting regularly about rooms that are free, about apartments that are free, people that are leaving their apartments and are going back to their own country, or they are just moving somewhere else. They post in the group, look, I'm gonna be leaving this apartment, so if anyone needs, if anyone wants to, you can PM me. So that's something that's really useful to know. And besides that, as I've already said, if you know anyone in Ireland, if you have anyone over here, ask them to help you out. Ask them to go to a viewing. They can view a house for you. They can tell you if the house is okay or if the house is, well, too bad. If you're gonna live in some kind of a, basement, it's not really worth it, right? So utilize everything you can. Use everything you can to your advantage, and yeah, you're gonna get to it. Once you're in the system, once you're finding accommodation for yourself for the first or second time, it's gonna get a lot easier after that. So I'm gonna look at the chat for a little bit. And yes, and many people who were able to afford accommodation before also had to move back home as well. It's very difficult if you're a freelancer or unless you have a very well-paid job. Yes, the accommodation is expensive, can be expensive. That's why people are often looking for accommodation outside the city center. I was actually looking for an accommodation inside the city. Some bigger areas, such as in Cork, there's a bigger area like Douglas. So Douglas is an area where you have everything close to you. You have two shopping centers, you have I think a hospital is really nearby. You got some schools over here. You got bus stops that are connecting, well, that are all right. They are connected fine to the city, but they go straight to the city center, so that's cool. And that's a really great area to live in, Douglas. So here in Douglas, you got really expensive accommodation. So accommodation in Douglas can be really expensive because people are trying to get. If you don't have a car, you're gonna have a struggle. Going to a shop, going to the city center. You're gonna have a struggle to visiting things and go traveling to your job. And people want to have an accommodation really close to the city center, really close to their job. And Douglas is one of the places where you got everything at hand. So that's expensive. Douglas is expensive. The accommodation for like a single person can go up to 1,000 euros, 1,200 euros even. And yes, that's crazy expensive. But also there are rooms for just rooms. A single room can be about 700, 800 euros without utilities. That's still a bit too much. But if you look for an accommodation outside the city, like I think if you look for an accommodation in Glenmire already, you're gonna find apartments, or let's say you're gonna find single rooms for 500, 600 euros. And that's already a lot cheaper. So if you have a car or if you find a job nearby, you're gonna get a lot more opportunities from living outside the city than being within the city. So yeah, I'm gonna look at the chat for a second. Yes, many people who were okay are people from Ireland using Facebook a lot, where well, foreigners use Facebook. Irish people, I think the Irish people are mostly using Instagram. Yes. And also you can utilize Reddit. There's a lot of Irish people on some of the Reddits, subreddits. You got Ireland subreddit, and you've got people moving to Ireland subreddit, I think. So you got a lot of information over there also. Well, will you do more vlog videos? The last one was very nice. Well, I will be doing more vlog videos as soon as I catch up with everything, I was recording that vlog with my phone, so I'm just trying to get into the vlogging, trying to learn everything about vlogging, and trying to learn how to not make my audio sound like shite, to be honest. So, yeah, but I'll get into vlogging a little bit more later on. As an Irish person, it's definitely not a case of not trying. I'm sure it helps if you are working in certain jobs. Yes, it's cheaper outside the cities. Yeah, well, to be honest, sometimes I heard already from some people get really unlucky. So, yeah, that's just sometimes a matter of luck, and I think that can happen in any country in the world. So I'm hearing right now that there's been a surge in the prices of accommodation in Croatia. So accommodation in Croatia is starting to be really expensive. I heard that people can't find apartments in New York City. I heard that people in Canada are having a real tough time in the housing crisis. So it kind of sums up that everywhere in the world there's a housing crisis going on right now. And I would say that's because people are literally moving from a country to country and trying to see where they get more opportunities and where they got it easier. And that's became kind of normal. More and more expats, more and more foreigners all over the world. People are really mixed up right now because it's never been actually easier. You can buy a ticket for 40 euros from Croatia to Ireland in January, and it's 40 euros. You can get to Ireland and you can just, look for a job. You can just apply for an accommodation. You can just try something, but 40 euros. And that's actually why there's so many foreigners right now, and everywhere across the whole world, actually, in America, in Canada, in Ireland. And that's why we get to these housing crises, and crises. Damn it. Okay. So yeah, that's how you get to a housing crisis. In Ireland specifically, I know for a fact that there's a lot of abandoned houses. People have no idea who those who to who do those houses belong to. So those houses are empty. Those houses are neglected, and besides that, there's some kind of a crazy law that people have to consent. People have to give their consent for a building to be built next to them, or in their Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I just blocked out just a little bit. I'll just have a sip of coffee and hope everything turns out fine. So yeah, I'd say this is some kind of a law that people in their if someone's building in their area, they have to give consent to them for a house or an apartment complex to be built. So there's no such thing in Croatia, and there are a lot of apartment complexes in Croatia, and that's why it's so much easier to find an apartment. In Ireland, I can see that there's really a really low number of apartment complexes and a low number of apartments overall, and there are more houses. With houses, you also know, like, in houses you can just get in one house like 5-6 people, and they're gonna be sharing the house. They're gonna be sharing even rooms. With apartments, you can have an apartment complex of like 10 or 15 apartments, and you can literally bump up like 100 people in there, literally. And that's something Ireland is definitely missing, and I'm really not sure why is it like that. If any of you Irish people can explain in the chat, I would be really, really thankful. So yeah, that's why there's a shortage. And Ireland is a pretty great country when it comes to opportunities, and it got, well, people heard. All over the world, people heard. And when you come to Ireland, you are gonna notice that you are gonna be meeting a lot more foreigners than Irish people, to be honest. When you go outside, when you go to a pub, you are gonna see a lot of Indians, a lot of Spanish people. You're gonna see a lot of Chinese people, and well, Croatians. Definitely, there's a lot of Croatians in Ireland. So you're gonna see a lot of different cultures in Ireland among the Irish people. So people are rushing from their countries to Ireland every single day to work, to study. A lot of them are here just to study English, just for a few months, 3 months, 6 months sometimes. They're here to study English and to work, and then they go back to their own countries. So that's something also. And Ireland has a pretty great international student program. So the college of UCC has a great international student program, so people are enrolling into that, and people are moving from their countries to Ireland, and hence the housing crisis, right? So I'm gonna look at the chat for a second. The good news is Ireland public transportation is pretty good, so you can comfortably live right outside the city, but it does get worse as you get further away. Okay, Paul, that's true. But one thing I just found out. I found myself not to be able to rely on the public transport. Like, I was waiting for a bus. I had a job interview a little bit outside the city. I had to take 2 buses. So I I was really prepared. I went on my journey about 2 hours earlier. I knew I had the bus time stops and everything, so I knew when the buses are going. So I missed the first bus. The second bus came in really late. Okay, so that bus took me to the city center. In the city center, the bus was supposed to be there at I think 3:15. It came in about 3:40. So how does that happen? Just on Google, on the Leap webpage of Cork buses, the timestamps just don't add up. The buses are missing their timetables. Like that's something that really weirded me out. But if you're coming from outside the city into the city, it's a lot easier. That's a lot easier, I have to admit. But when you're going like from within the city, if the traffic is bad, you're gonna have the worst time. You're gonna wish you never took that job interview, to be honest, like I did. Okay, so the good news, okay, and housing crisis is definitely a worldwide thing, especially in first world countries. Yes, that's true. If it was not Ireland, if you had no luck with Ireland, what other countries were you considering if you were at all? Irara, Irara, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, I was considering Canada. I was considering Australia. But as a Croatian, I had to take into consideration visa and visa requirements. From Croatia to Ireland, I don't have to have a visa because we are in the European Union, and I can move to Ireland practically with my ID card. I don't even have to have a passport. So yeah, but good thing I made a passport, because if you're applying for a UK job or in a UK company, you have to have a passport. They can't give you a job with your ID. Just something I found out in the process. So yeah, but yeah, I was considering Canada and Australia. Yeah, Australia would be cool. Australia was my first choice because of the weather, because of the sun, and I love the sun. I live for the sun, and it's so funny because yeah, I'm in Ireland. But to be honest, for the last couple of weeks, it's been incredibly hot over here. So yeah, it can be really hot in Ireland actually. And it's definitely been like the last couple of days was so extremely hot. It's really hot right now. I have an open window. I'm really mad at myself because I was talking to people, and I told people like, why would you need an air conditioner in Ireland? Like, it's always cold, it's always windy, you can just always open the window and it's gonna be fine. And turns out I've been terribly wrong, and I'm suffering because of my choices right now, because I didn't get an air conditioner or any kind of a cooling system in my room, and I'm just, it's really hot. Yes, that can happen in Ireland. So don't pack just the tough clothing. Don't pack just on the jackets. You are gonna need your t-shirts. You're gonna need your shorts. Yeah, shorts. You're gonna need your shorts. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Is it butter really so good here? Yes, I have to admit, compared to Croatia, butter is something just, it's special. It's something I've never tried before. In Croatia, the butter is not like that. We use butter just for we use a little bit of butter in our meals. Over here, I use spoonful of butter in everything, and that's maybe a problem, but that's a problem for another vlog or something. Maybe a lifestyle vlog or fit vlog, but yeah, Butter is incredibly good in Ireland. All of the dairy products are actually really good. So Ireland has a really good dairy industry. Just yeah, yeah, that's something you can rely on when you shop in Ireland. Um, Australia would be cool. Okay. You're welcome, Ira. Ireland to win the Rugby World Cup. I have no idea because I do not follow rugby. I'm sorry, Paul. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Um, I am moving to Ireland in 2 days. Wish me luck. Dude, I wish you the best of luck and I wish you luck with the accommodation, with the job, if you don't have one. And good luck. Just, I'm a bit curious. Are you going through an agency or are you gonna go and find an Airbnb or something? I'm just curious if you can write that into chat. So, yeah. I wanted to talk later on since I started to talk about dairy products and butter. I wanted to mention the difference between the cuisine, Irish food. Well, compared to Croatia, Irish food is okay. It's good. I hope no one's offended by this, but it's a bit tasteless. So in Croatia, we tend to spice up everything we eat. We use large amounts of salt. So that's a little bit different here. So the food is not salty at all, even though Irish people are telling me that they are using too much salt in their meals. So one life hack and something very weird that I found out is I bought the Irish salt, or it's a London salt. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I've got the Irish salt, and there's a Croatian shop in Cork. So we bought a Croatian salt also. We figured out that the same amount of the Irish salt and the Croatian salt are not the same. So Irish salt is a lot less salty than the Croatian one. So we actually found out that we can use same amounts or even less salt than we usually need in our meals, but have a better taste of salt with our salt, our Croatian salt. I'm not sure how is it with the Polish salt, American salt, and stuff like that, but the Irish salt is, you can pour down the whole bottle and you won't feel the saltiness. So besides that, Irish burgers are something amazing. That's amazing. I wouldn't change the Irish burger for anything, especially Angus beef burgers, Irish beef burgers. Just McDonald's is even using Irish beef burgers. Yeah, patties. So yeah, burgers are amazing. Stews are amazing. So any kind of a stew, or how do you call it here? I'm not really 100% sure, but stews in general are amazing in Ireland. Pies like cottage pie, shepherd's pie. That's nice, really nice. Really nice because it has everything and it's really easy to digest somehow. It's not, it's very easy. And yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you about the Irish food and Irish cuisine, that you might find yourself a bit, it's definitely different. And I bet it isn't just different from Croatia. I bet it's different from a lot of other countries too. And definitely America. So America, as much as I know, they have a lot, like they have salty food, fatty food. So they have large calorie food, which Ireland, Ireland is really trying to have as much as possible lean options, gluten-free options. You got a lot of different options with less salt, less fat. And that's something I wasn't really I didn't see that in Croatia. I didn't see that in Budapest, Hungary. So I saw that only here in Ireland, to be honest. Okay, I am moving to Cork. I'm worried about the food because I am an Indian. Oh yeah, our food is full of spices and more colorful. It will be an adventure for taste buds. Yeah, that's gonna be really fun for you, dude. So I definitely suggest you find spices. Just look around for spices. You'll find them, and you cook at home. And just try to get to the Irish food a bit easier. You know, just try a little bit at a time, because you Indian people, I know that you have pretty spicy food, and that's gonna be very, very different here for you. Trust me. But you'll get used to it. Other people have, so you're gonna get used to it too. Okay, so Croatia have Hungarian and Austrian kitchen. Eastern part of Croatia, so yeah, Ireland is blend. Ireland is blend in compared to that. Yeah, definitely. The food is blend compared to that. Yes, but maybe it's just me. But I also know Polish people. I tend to buy a lot of Polish stuff, like Polish chorizos and stuff like that, because they are just the most similar to ours. So a Polish chorizo is very similar to our Croatian, well, chorizo kulen, how we call it in Croatia. So it's not the same, but it's close. It's close to that. So yeah, Polish kitchen is close to ours. So yeah, it's not just Croatia. Okay, interesting. I have not tried Croatian food yet. Well, you definitely should. I'm also vegetarian. Okay, you got a lot of vegetarian options over here in Ireland. At least you got that. A lot of vegetarian and vegan options. You got special sections for that. So that's cool. I like the Irish Atlantic sea salt. Okay, but I try not to eat too much salt because it's not good for blood pressure. That's true. Well, I'm still not sure if the salt is saltier, if Croatian salt is saltier. I'm really curious. Is it unhealthier than the Irish salt? Okay, I'm gonna think about that later. But yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, so the Irish Atlantic sea salt. I may try to find something about that. I'm gonna have to try something different, because ordering Croatian salt is starting to be really just funny. It's funny. Yes. There are quite a lot of Indian cuisines in Ireland. That's true. Also, you have a lot of Indian kitchens around. You have a lot of Indian restaurants. I'm not really sure if they are same. Yes, I'm not sure how it would compare to authentic Indian cuisine. However, that's the same thing I wanted to say, what Paul said. Yes. So thanks for letting me know. I am missing authentic Indian food already. Well, you should definitely pile up. You know, get as much as you can, eat as much as you can until you just drop it, like, you know, drop it. Just drop it. Thank you so much. This is the first time someone responded to me online live. My job is MNC. Sorry, what is MNC? I'm not really sure. Company is tied up with a relocation agency. They are providing me 1 month of temporary accommodation. That is awesome. So that's good. Definitely try to figure out if they can help you to get accommodation after that 1 month. Because if they can help you out, that's pretty cool. And you should definitely ask, because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So keep asking questions, keep asking your employer. They just might help you find your accommodation, your first alone accommodation in Ireland. So good luck with that. Try. How is life in Dublin compared to Cork? From your point of view and the rumors you have heard. Okay, that's a fair question, Dr. Alfred. Uh, okay, so what I've heard about Dublin is that it's like this is gonna sound funny, but I'm gonna just say it straight up like it is. I heard that Dublin is almost like some kind of a, well, hell of a city. Like it's hell. Like everyone does what they want. Like it's some kind of a, I don't know, like a Bible city. I don't know. But to be honest, I met a few people that live in Dublin, and if you're in Dublin, in some better areas of the city, you can definitely Google that. You can talk to people about that. You can ask people what they think about that. But there are certain good areas of Dublin where you can live just fine, just good as anywhere else. There are a lot. There are more opportunities in Dublin than there are in Cork. That's true because Dublin is just a lot bigger city. The nightlife in Dublin, as I've heard, never stops. It just never stops. So Dublin is has a very rich nightlife. So yeah, that's one thing. Other thing, as I've said, you got plenty of other opportunities. The accommodation is a lot more expensive, definitely. So for a room, for a single room, I saw prices from 1,000 to 300-400 euros. Anywhere, almost anywhere in Dublin. So you have to look a bit outside the city, definitely, or you have to have a really good job. Besides that, I've heard Dublin has been, well, the crime rate is Dublin. What? The crime rate in Dublin is rising. So the crime rate in Dublin is a little bit higher than it is in Cork. Definitely is higher. So Cork is a university city. So Cork is full of students, full of young people, and it's kind of, I would say, a safe place to live. You know, for Dublin, I can't say that. People say that you can get robbed in Dublin. People say that you shouldn't go out alone at night in Dublin. And I'm not really sure how to respond to that. I don't know about that for sure. I didn't live in Dublin, but I saw that Dublin is a pretty big city, and I'm sure that it's same like any other big capital city. It's dangerous. It can be dangerous. Same like New York, same like Zagreb in Croatia. So it's definitely more dangerous than Cork. If you are, where is best to raise a family? Well, Dr. Alfred, as much as I know and as much as I've heard, Galway is kind of the best place to raise a family. Not really sure for what reasons. I think Dublin is extremely fast-paced, extremely expensive, with a lot of opportunities. I'd say that Dublin is for extremely ambitious people, people that love fast-paced environments, people that thrive in that kind of environment. Cork is more of a university city, so that's kind of for students mostly, and there are a lot of students. There's a rich nightlife, and there are a lot of young people, and you got plenty of shops. You got the city center in Cork is actually beautiful. You've got lots of pubs, but there's not so much to do except for the pubs, and you've got sometimes concerts and stuff like that. But in Galway, it's a bit slower paced. It's more of a family city, and it's you've got a lot of kindergartens and good schools in Galway, good elementary and secondary schools, right? So that's as much as I heard. You can also, if you are a bit more interested in Galway, you can definitely visit the channel of my you can visit the channel of my friend Corky. He lives in Galway. He can explain it to you. So yeah. What about a cultural part of Ireland, history and folklore? Well, that's history and folklore of Ireland is amazing. It's so rich. There are so many castles to visit. There are so many well, natural sights you can see in Ireland. But as I've said, there are mostly castles. Like one of the most popular castles around Cork, I would say that is the Blarney Castle, and that's something amazing, something everyone should visit. And yeah, it's got a really rich history, and whole of Ireland has a lot of very rich history, and the folklore in Ireland is amazing. I mean, I don't know what more can you want from a folklore than having all the mythological creatures like fairies, I don't know, unicorns, leprechauns. You got everything in Ireland, and it just seems that like everything started in Ireland. So many of those stories, they originated from Ireland. Stories you can see in series about the mythological creatures, about, as I've said, fairies, leprechauns. There are a bunch of more of them. But yeah, shapeshifters even originated in Ireland, as well as, I'm not really sure, but I think there are werewolves also. So yeah, Ireland has a pretty rich folklore, and I'm really sad not to have met anyone, someone older, someone from the countryside, someone who knows these stories, because I would very much appreciate to hear them from a local person. So yeah, it has a really rich history and folklore. MNC means multinational company. The name of the company is Qualcomm. Okay, I've heard about that. I'm moving on critical skills permit. That's amazing. Yeah, that's definitely amazing. So you people should definitely look into the critical skills permit, because Ireland offers that to foreign employees. If you have some kind of a critical skill to Ireland, and there's a whole range of the critical skills, you can get a job really easily and get a visa and everything sorted out for you a lot easier than for people that are just moving in to find an accommodation or something and just start living in Ireland. It's a lot easier to come over through the critical skills permit. So look into that definitely. Okay, I'm moving on critical skills permit. They said they will extend the accommodation by 1 more week. That's it. Okay. So you got your information. So in that month, I suggest you definitely look into sources to find an accommodation that's right for you. I hope you drive, but if you don't, try to find an accommodation close to the city, to your job, or at least close to the bus stations, definitely. And just explore, research as much as you can. And as I've said, I wish you the best of luck. And try even at your work, try asking other employees if they can help you out. Just communicate with them, make bonds, and be as friendly as possible, because I am pretty sure that anywhere, like if you're coming to Ireland, you're gonna have a bunch of friendly people around you. So ask them. Maybe they know someone. Maybe they know someone that right now has a free room for you. Yeah, definitely. How's the construction industry down in Cork? Well, as much as I know right now, they are starting to work on... I saw that they are looking for a lot of construction workers. So that's something I just saw on Indeed and Jobs, i.e. they are looking for a lot of construction workers. I saw that there are some deals going on right now for building more houses, more communities, more house complexes, and maybe some apartment complexes. So that's the answer, Paul. I think it's going actually well, and some people are saying that it's actually going better than it has been for the past couple of years. So yeah, I guess that's good. There's gonna be more houses. So some parts of Dublin are nicer than others, yes. Yeah, we were supposed to come to Dublin. So we actually had the opportunity to go to Dublin. We asked specifically for Cork through the agency. They told us, would it be a problem if we move you to Dublin? And I was like, oof, maybe, but does it have to be Ireland, Dublin? Well, if we can't get you anywhere else, would it be such big of a problem? And I said, no. Look, it wouldn't be just I'm a bit scared. And they said, okay, we are definitely going to try to put you in accommodation. We are definitely going to put you in an accommodation that's nicer than the other parts of the cities, and I'll tell you which accommodation will it be, and I'll tell you where will it be, so you can do your research on that too. And I said, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm pretty sure that some parts are much nicer than other parts. So just watch out not to get into a bad part of Dublin just because of money or something. Like, sometimes it's not worth it, really. Yes, unfortunately, Dublin city center has a higher crime rate. Yes. Other parts of Dublin are nicer. I live in Dublin, but in a quieter area. Yes, Galway is generally very nice, very busy in the summertime. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. I heard Galway is a city with a lot more sun. I hope that's true. That's just something I heard from people around. Galway is good for water sports too, such as surfing. Really? Surfing? Interesting. That's a nice thing. That's a nice thing to hear, Paul. If I ever want to try surfing, and I just might want to try, I'll try. Whoa, Corky is amazing. I follow him. He's such a friendly guy. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Definitely. So if you have questions about Galway, like more detailed questions, and you need a more detailed question, definitely ask him. He's gonna respond. Yeah. Galway is smaller. Yes, that's true, Paul. Yes, I drive. I have the international driving permit. Then you got the lottery, man. You got everything you need. You're gonna go. You're gonna be. You're gonna go through everything so much easier than I do. I don't have a driving license, and I have to walk everywhere or take a bus or. Well, I'm really gonna try to get a bike and just hope that the wind won't take me to Bangladesh. So yes. But I'll just yeah, I don't have a driving license, and that's really like limiting. It's limiting. I won't lie to you. It's limiting in Ireland. I am a medical doctor who moved here for a postgraduate degree. After 1 year, I went to bring my wife over here, who is a nurse, to raise our family here. Amazing. Good. I wish you all the best, and I wish you luck, definitely, to you and your wife. And if anything, you have family, and I know the education system in Ireland is amazing. That's something I can't argue with. Everyone says it's amazing. And the primary schools, secondary schools, and even colleges, what the hell? Colleges are amazing over here. So that's kind of why everyone from all over the world is coming in here to study. So yeah, that's good, and that's a bright future for your kids. Yeah. I'm a construction management major and was looking for jobs in Galway, Cork, and Belfast. I've applied to about 10 in Galway and no luck just yet. Belfast will probably be next from there, then Cork. Okay, that's amazing. And was looking for jobs in Galway. Okay, so what I realized, Paul, at least as a foreigner, when you apply for the job, they ask you from where are you, and do you have to commute to Ireland. So they sometimes just scrap the applications where you note that you have to move to Ireland first. Although I think they should actually look at your application, and they're probably gonna see that you've been living in Ireland already. So there shouldn't be a problem. But I've heard from a lot of foreigners that if you do not live in Ireland yet, that they are just not gonna go through your application. So just something to have in mind, Paul. Okay, Ira, Cork is bigger than Galway, is what I understand. Yes, that's true. Cork County is the biggest in Ireland. Oh, really? Well, I think so. I know that Cork is the second largest city in Ireland next to Dublin. So I do know that. Yeah, yeah. Cork is kind of a bigger city, but Dublin is definitely a city where you can get lost. So yeah. Okay. So Jesus Christ, it's already been more than an hour, people. Look, I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate you all been joining into the chat so much. So I didn't really expect that, and this was really amazing. I'm sorry that I got a bit caught up in some areas more than others, but yeah, I am definitely gonna be doing more of these live streams. If you would like that, definitely leave a like. You already use the chat as much as you could. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we are gonna make more of these live streams. I'm gonna be doing vlogs. I'm gonna be doing more videos, like education videos on how things work here in 2024, 5 probably. Well, you know the gist. So yeah, consider liking, subscribing. I'm really glad we all talked through everything as much as we could. And I'm just gonna answer the very few last ones. Construction jobs are present in Cork. One of my friends, yes, he's a construction manager. Yes, it is good. I'm from Ireland, but I have since moved to the US to the US, wanting to move back. Okay, that's nice. That's really nice. Your videos inspired me. Move here together with videos from Corky. You guys are doing a great job. Please keep it up. Thanks for responding to my questions. May God bless you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Good to know. Do you know what company? Okay, he's going to work for. Sorry, Paul. But that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next live stream. But you're gonna see me in the next upcoming videos. So goodbye. Have a nice time, and good luck, everyone.